All right, everyone, welcome back. Are you ready to dive in?
Always ready.
Ha ha ha, good. Because today we're going deep on something called spiritual humility.
Hmm. Interesting.
Right. It's from this text, get this, spiritual humility, honoring beliefs in a moral universe.
Wow. Okay.
And it's attributed to someone called Grand Master WaXhira.
Grand Master.
Interesting. Of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
The Atlantean Brotherhood. Huh?
Yeah, I know. Atlantis, Brotherhood, the whole 9 yards. Sounds kind of,
Out there.
yeah, a bit out there. But I gotta say, the ideas in this text are anything but typical self-help spirituality. This is some next level stuff. We're talking about how we view other people's belief systems and how, get this, judging those beliefs might actually say more about our ego than, how enlightened we are.
That's fascinating. And WaXhira really hits on that. He basically says dismissing someone's beliefs as, like, less evolved isn't spiritual superiority. It's our ego trying to look like progress.
It's like we get so attached to our own path, our own way of seeing things, that we forget everyone else is on their own journey too. And I don't know about you, but I've totally been there,
Yeah.
Like you hear someone talk about their beliefs and you think, really? They actually believe that.
Yeah.
So what's going on in our minds when we have that reaction?
Well, this ties in nicely with the whole idea of cognitive bias. It's this tendency we have, all of us, to favor our own point of view
Uh-huh.
and kind of dismiss or downplay things that don't fit with what we already believe.
Right. So we might write off someone's beliefs as superstitious or irrational
Exactly.
without really stopping to think about why those beliefs might be so important to them.
And WaXhira uses this really powerful analogy to get this point across. He compares beliefs to rags.
Rags.
Yeah, rags. To someone else, those rags might look tattered and worn,
Oh, I see where he's going with this.
but to the person wearing them, they provide warmth and dignity.
Wow, I love that analogy. So even if a belief seems, I don't know, outdated or strange to us, it could be giving someone else a sense of protection
Right.
or a way to make sense of the world. It's like what we see as a worn out rag might be someone else's essential comfort.
Precisely.
Yeah, makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, and it really connects to a lot of what we see in sociology, too.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the role religion plays for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It provides a framework for morality,
Yeah.
a sense of community,
Belonging.
a purpose.
Right, all of that.
Especially when times are tough.
It's like that belief system, however we might view it, is giving them a sense of belonging, of meaning.
And WaXhira, he actually makes this pretty stark point.
Go on.
He says condemning those beliefs is like stripping someone bare,
Oh, wow.
leaving them exposed and vulnerable.
Almost like we're taking away their only source of warmth, their only protection. It's a powerful image. This actually makes me think about another idea of WaXhira's. This whole idea that there's no one-size-fits-all spirituality.
Right.
He argues that what feels like a prison to one person might be a sanctuary to another.
Hmm.
It's like how some people find comfort in strict routines,
Yeah.
while others need absolute freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think a good parallel for that is learning styles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like trying to force everyone to learn the same way.
Yeah.
Some people thrive in a structured environment.
Structure.
Others need to explore, discover on their own terms. Forcing your version of the truth on someone might actually stifle their growth instead of nurturing it.
So what if, instead of trying to fix someone's beliefs, we tried to understand what purpose those beliefs are serving in their lives?
That's a great question.
What if we shift from judgment to, like, genuine curiosity?
I like that. Shifting from judgment to curiosity.
Yeah. This is really making me think, as we keep looking at these ideas from WaXhira, it's like this goes way beyond just being tolerant of what other people believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's deeper. It's more about, like, recognizing the inherent value in each person, no matter what they believe.
Yeah, and their dignity.
Exactly.
Like seeing that spark of something, I don't know, something bigger, like something sacred in everyone.
Right.
And that's where I think this whole idea of spiritual humility comes in.
Right. Yeah, totally. It's about, like, acknowledging that we don't have a monopoly on truth. We don't have all the answers, and there's always more to learn,
Always.
even from those we might disagree with.
I have to say, I really appreciate that WaXhira doesn't shy away from the tough stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, like, he acknowledges that there are times when we might actually need to challenge beliefs that are harmful.
He does. It's not about just blindly accepting everything.
Right.
It's about engaging in this respectful dialogue, even even when it's uncomfortable.
Maybe that's the most powerful way to change someone's mind, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, not through arguing, but through really understanding where they're coming from.
It's about leading by example, like WaXhira says. Actions speak louder than words.
Showing, not telling.
Exactly.
And living our truth in a way that sort of invites other people to consider different perspectives without feeling pressured, you know?
I see what you mean. That makes me think of the whole idea of spiritual elitism.
Oh, yeah. It's something WaXhira warns against.
Yeah.
It's like that trap of feeling superior because of our spiritual beliefs.
Or our practices.
Right, exactly. Like, we might feel pride in being, I don't know, woke or enlightened, but that can actually create more separation, more division.
Right. It's building walls instead of bridges.
Exactly.
WaXhira reminds us that true spirituality is about recognizing our interconnectedness.
So we're all part of this web of life.
All searching for those same fundamental things.
Love, fulfillment, yeah.
It all comes back to that.
Mhm.
You know, we're all on this journey together, and it's so easy to get caught up in our own little bubbles. But when we actually take the time to really listen to other people, it opens up this whole new world of understanding.
It really does. And, I mean, WaXhira actually gives us a framework for how to do that, right?
Right.
Humility.
Deep listening.
Leading by example.
They're simple, but they're profound, you know?
I think it's important to remember that these practices aren't just for, you know, spiritual people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're valuable tools for anyone.
Like whether we're talking about politics,
Religion.
our everyday interactions. Even.
Yeah, embracing those principles of spiritual humility can lead to more harmonious relationships.
Yeah.
And a greater sense of connection.
They can help us break down those barriers.
Shared understanding.
And ultimately contribute to a more compassionate and just world.
Powerful stuff.
It is. And going back to that analogy of rags, it really drives home the point that we shouldn't judge or dismiss someone's beliefs, even if they seem illogical or outdated.
Because those beliefs, those rags,
Could be the thing giving them a sense of purpose, a way to cope with life's challenges. Who are we to say that their way of finding meaning is less valid than ours?
Exactly. We need to meet people where they are,
Yeah.
not where we think they should be.
Meeting people where they are.
Yeah, it's so crucial.
Especially these days,
Yeah.
right? Where there's so much judgment and division
It's about recognizing that, you know, we're all just doing our best.
with what we've got,
Yeah.
offering compassion and support,
Instead of criticism.
creating spaces where people feel safe to share their beliefs without fear of ridicule.
And it all comes back to Atlantis, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, WaXhira says that's why it fell.
Hmm?
Their lack of respect for other people's beliefs.
I
It's
believe.
it's a pretty stark warning, don't you think? About the dangers of spiritual arrogance
Absolutely.
and the importance of building bridges of understanding.
Instead of walls of division.
Yeah. It's a powerful reminder that we're all connected, you know? And our collective well-being, it really depends on that ability to see past our differences and recognize our shared humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the theory,
Yeah.
the dangers of spiritual arrogance, this whole
Yeah.
idea of honoring beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually, like, live this stuff?
Yeah.
How do we cultivate spiritual humility in our everyday lives?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's one thing to, talk about these concepts,
right.
but how do we actually put them into action?
Exactly.
Luckily, WaXhira gives us some guidance.
He does. He gives us those 3 key practices, remember?
Yeah.
Humility,
Deep listening.
leading by example.
Let's break those down, shall we?
Yeah, let's get practical.
Okay, so humility.
Humility, what does that actually look like?
Well, I think it starts with admitting that, we don't have all the answers.
Uh-huh.
Being willing to say I was wrong. Being open to different viewpoints.
Okay.
Learning from people we disagree with.
Yeah, it's about letting go of that need to always be right.
Yeah.
I know, I struggle with that sometimes.
It's hard.
It's hard, especially when we're passionate about something, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And another aspect of humility is being aware of our own biases.
Oh, yeah, our biases.
We all have them,
We do.
whether we realize it or not.
And those biases, they really affect everything, don't they?
They do. How we see the world,
Yeah.
how we interact with each other.
How we understand things.
So becoming aware of those biases,
How do we do that?
it takes effort, honestly. Paying attention to our thoughts, our feelings, our reactions, especially when something rubs us the wrong way,
Oh,
when
yeah.
it challenges our beliefs.
Okay.
Ask yourself, Why am I reacting like this?
Right.
What assumptions am I making?
Where is this coming from?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Those questions.
Yeah.
They can help us uncover those hidden biases.
And once we're aware of them,
Then we can start to challenge them.
right?
We can start to see things more objectively.
It's a process, isn't it?
It is. An ongoing process.
Yeah. Okay, what about deep listening?
Deep listening.
That's a tough one.
It is. It's so easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
To be half listening while we're thinking about other stuff.
Right, we forget how to be present with another person.
So often we're so busy thinking about what we're going to say that we miss what the other person is actually saying.
So how do we become better listeners?
Well, it starts with being present,
Yeah.
Put the phone away.
Right.
Turn off the TV.
Okay.
Make eye contact. Nod along. Use your body language to show that you're engaged.
Like, really try to step into their shoes.
Yeah.
See things from their perspective.
Ask questions.
Yeah, clarify.
Summarize what you've heard. Make sure you're both on the same page.
And most importantly, listen without judgment.
Right. Even if you disagree.
Yeah.
Try to see the world through their eyes. You don't have to agree.
You don't have to agree.
But try to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah. It's about recognizing that everyone has their own story.
Their own experiences.
Yeah.
That have shaped their beliefs.
Okay, so we've got humility.
We've got deep listening.
What about leading by example?
This is about, living our truth in a way that inspires others.
Not about preaching.
No.
Or trying to convert anyone.
No, it's about embodying these qualities that we've been talking about.
Kindness.
Compassion.
Understood.
Treating others with respect.
Even when we don't think they deserve it.
It's about being a light in the darkness.
And I think, honestly, that's the most powerful way to make a difference.
People are more likely to be influenced by what we do than what we say.
So if we want to see more spiritual humility out there in the world,
We got to start with ourselves.
be the change.
Exactly.
This has been a really powerful conversation.
It has.
I'm feeling, I don't know, hopeful.
Yeah.
Like, if we can all commit to cultivating these qualities
It'd make a real difference.
to a more compassionate,
Understand.
harmonious world.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful.
Thought-provoking.
And, as always, keep seeking
Keep questioning.
and keep growing.